Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is ErnieOrange, and I think I started the show with a thing on here, and here we go.
Hey, what's up?
I
There
didn't
you
put it
go.
down. Yeah, how's it going, Ernie? Everything good over there, dude?
We're doing great out here in Southern California, enjoying this kind of cold weather here in starting March. But we're excited to talk baseball. We have a lot of great news for you guys today. You maybe want to give us a breakdown. What are we going to talk about today, Carlos?
Dude, we have Chapman. He signs a deal with the Giants, and we'll try to do the little breakdown of everything that happened with that signing. And we do have the Blue Jays. They lost Chapman, so it's one of those things where did they get anybody to compete in the AL East? And we'll kind of break it down. And if you guys saw the slide already, it was on there before we started the show. So we'll talk about that, and of course we'll talk about the MLB injuries. There's a few injuries we want to go and talk about because if you're playing fantasy, and a lot of people are, or you're just listening that there's a injury in MLB, this is a spot to hear it. So let's get started.
Hey there. Well, today's show is sponsored by Rival Fantasy. It's a modern way of playing fantasy sports. Check it out using the rivalfantasy.com or the Rival Fantasy app using code RealTalkBaseball. We have a lot of games to play, to gamble these days. We have MLB Best Ball, NBA Best Ball, and we have bingo and their daily challenges. It's such a great game, Carlos. I'm making money every day. I don't know what to tell you.
Dude,
It's
you're playing
becoming
that right
a
now, huh?
I really am, and I'm making some quick cash every day, and I just tell Carlos every night, "Hey, I just wanted a couple extra bucks again." This is awesome.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't done it. I've been messing around with the app and everything. It's really easy to download. It's really easy to get in, and every money that you put in, let's say you put $20, Rival Fantasy will actually match that up. You can match it up all the way to $200, and you'll get $200 into your account. So it'll be $400 in total.
Yeah,
So
man.
why not do it? Have friends, be a rival. You guys can do it that way. All right, let's get started with our show. We have Chapman. That one
Ooh,
caught me kind of a little bit by surprise because Chapman was one of those players that's a Scott Boras, you know, Scott Boras is his agent,
yeah.
and he signed with the Giants, dude. Did you expect that one?
At first I did not, but after discussion and after it was taking a little long, right? We're approaching March, and Chapman barely signed, so I kind of see it why it happened. He kind of finally gets to reunite with Bob Melvin, a previous manager that he had with the Oakland Athletics, and that's the manager that he saw the most success with.
Yeah,
The time with the Toronto Blue Jays, it wasn't that great. He was a really great defensive third baseman. Don't get me wrong, the guy has 4 Gold Gloves, but his bat hasn't really been there like it once was. It has
yeah,
never really been that offensive power. Has never hit over 250 batting average, and has always averaged like 24 home runs a year, which is great. But he does strike out a lot, and this is the key moments the Blue Jays needed sometimes in the middle of the lineup. So
yeah.
was it a good move for the Giants? Hell yes, it was. They ended up getting a contract deal of 3 years, 54 million, with the option of opting out 2 times in his contract. He is going to get paid 20 million in his first year, 18 million the second year, and the last year 16 million.
Yeah, and I did see that he got a 2 million signing bonus. So if he does opt out next year, I think for him to do that, he has to buy out his contract, and then he can go into free agency. So these little deals that's going on, like we see, you still see Montgomery and Snell with no teams yet. So we might be able to see that. But for the Giants right now, I think it was a great move. This is the lineup that's going to be out there. You have Young Hoo Lee. We haven't seen him out there, but on spring training, he looks pretty good. And the Giants look a little stronger than they did last year. So you have guys like Jorge Soler. Like a lot of people are kind of like bashing on him, but if you remember, he bats really well.
Yeah,
So he's one of those players that if he feels that he's hot, he's going to be hot the whole season. He did it with the Braves. Remember, he did it
yeah,
with the Braves, and they won the World Series. Remember, he hit that bomb in Houston. He was leading off, and oh my god, I remember that bomb like it happened yesterday. But the Giants look pretty good. I know a lot of people like, oh, it's just the Giants. No, the Giants are doing little moves here and there, which is the second top team spending money to go ahead and put a product out in their field, and they're doing a good job about it. Like you said, he's a 240, 250 hitter average, but I think at third base, he's going to do good things for the Giants. And if you're looking at the lineup right now, it's pretty good. You know, like his career is 240. His last year he batted 240. He's not a home run guy. You know, he's going to he's going to be in the bigger ballpark now. He did play in with the Blue Jays. It was a big ballpark there as well. But I mean, we'll see what happens with the Giants. And I do see him competing. I do see him
Oh,
competing. I
bro.
see him battling for the West. Nothing is given. A lot of people are saying the Dodgers are going to take it hands down. Not until you start seeing these games in season, you'll start understanding like, hey, these teams are going to do good. But right now, we're just seeing paper, and you don't win the World Series by looking at the paper and saying, hey, I got this guy, got this guy, got this guy. No, they still got to go out there and perform. And I know a lot of people here are Dodger fans, and they hate that we talk about the Giants. But honestly, like this team does look good, right, Ernie?
It really does look great in paper. Not only those moves, right? The top of the lineup, they added speed and agility with Young-Hoo Lee. You add power in the middle of your lineup, and now you add a defensive third baseman. And not only that, guys, they also added Robbie Ray from a trade, which he's coming back from Tommy John surgery. And not only that, they also brought in Jordan Hicks, a flamethrower type of pitcher that throws 102 miles an hour. He was previously in the bullpen with the Cardinals, but now they're going to test him out as a starting pitching. They feel like he has the potential to go 6 innings strong. So I'm kind of curious how it all plays out. And the Giants won in this deal, guys. If you think about it, Chapman was asking for $150 million from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays went ahead and offered him 6 years, $120 million. He rejected the offer, thinking he was going to get way more money. And the way the market fell this year, it was kind of really poorly played out for Boris's clients. And he had to settle for a 3-year, $54 million type deal. He's averaging $18 million a year. So I feel like Chapman kind of lost in this deal. And Boris is not looking like the stronger hand these days. And the owners are trying to prove a point to Boris.
That's true, dude. And I kind of don't feel like Boris is kind of saying, okay, I'm just gonna have to get shorter deals for my players, and I'm just gonna have to go ahead and put them out there, and then have them opt out. They have to still produce. They still have to go ahead and produce so they can opt out their contracts and get that big contract. But is this one of the trends we're gonna see moving forward, or is this one of the trends just for Scott Boris because he's always trying to overcharge for his players? You know, and
Yeah,
we've talked about Scott Boris before these shows. I think the whole offseason has kind of been focused on that. We talked about Cody Bellinger. You know, he got a almost similar deal. You know,
right.
and he's going to be good in Chicago. Now you have Chapman, and we still have two more from that agent that we're going to be able to see, which is
Two top
Montgomery,
tier. Yeah,
two top tier pitchers, Montgomery, Snell, and I mean, if you want to include JD Martinez, which I think we should, he's still out there. So we're still waiting. We're still seeing everything, but we're talking about Chapman. He got his deal done, and he did what he needed to do. I just feel like this is good for the Giants. This is good for the NL West. Now it's going to be more competition there.
right.
And I mean, I like it. I like it. And I know as a Dodger fan, I'm not supposed to be liking the Giants or anything like that, but as a baseball fan, I like the move. I like that there's going to be competition there, and it's just going to make the division a little bit stronger because you don't want to have a division that's kind of whack. You know, you have the NL East where Chapman played, which is we're talking about it, the Blue Jays, dude. And this is where I feel like the Blue Jays lost. Why?
Mhm.
Because you have a big presence bat that's leaving. You did sign Justin Turner, but what else have you done? You're not signing any pitchers. You're not doing any of those big things. I was watching the spring training today. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. I was watching the spring training, and you had Springer leading off. He's only had like a few at bats. He's getting older, you know.
Mhm.
And then you had Bouchette coming up in the second spot. He's pretty good, dude. He had 301. He was batting 301 last year. And then you had well, Vladimir Guerrero hitting the bomb, dude. He hit a bomb. I got to see that. And then you have
Yes.
Justin Turner. But after that, what's after that? You know, there's really nothing. And
Well,
that's
sorry
what
to
I
cut.
feel. Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it. Go for it. Go for it.
sorry to cut you off, man, but the Blue Jays didn't really do much this offseason. You went ahead and lost Chapman. You offered him $120 million after 6 years, right? That offer, and you saw that he rejected it. And after paying, they could have called and tried to still make an offer. But I think the Blue Jays just blew him by and was like, you know what, we're just going to move on from him. We're just going to go on a cheaper route. They went ahead and signed Justin Turner on a 1-year, $13 million deal. Justin Turner is approaching 40 years old. And he is no longer, he still does the same productivity as Chapman in paper. That's why I think they were like, let's just go with Turner. And they also went ahead and signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, a 28-year-old bat that came from the Yankees. So kind of struggled last year. And he got offered 2 years, $15 million. And these are two guys that could play anywhere, basically, right? These guys could play in third. They could play in first. They have really utility guys, and I think that's the reason why they signed these guys instead of Chapman. I think they just went a cheaper route. But, man, the Blue Jays did not do enough for me, Carlos. It was a team that in paper looks really well, but last year was a clear first-round exit and was kind of shocking for a lot of fans to see that they had so much talent in paper, but they couldn't produce in the playoffs.
That's true. And, you still have Alek Manoah that you don't know what's going to happen with that guy. I don't know if he's going to come back. I know he was one of the part of the MLB injury report. He had a little bit of a soreness, but we'll get into that when we get into the injuries. But I just feel like they could have done a little bit more. They just sat back. I think all that news about Ohtani going to the Blue Jays and, it kind of like made the Blue Jay fans feel like, okay, they're going to go after someone big. Even if they didn't sign Ohtani, I felt like they needed to go get a pitcher because they didn't do, to me, they haven't done anything. I know Vladimir Guerrero is going to be, they're hoping for him to have a big season this year. And I think he is going to have it. He's going to have it because he's going to have a good cast around him. But then after that fourth batter, who's there to help him out? And I don't know, dude. I don't see them being a top team in an AL East, and only because that's the toughest division in all of baseball. You have the Orioles, you have the Rays, you have the Blue Jays, you have the Yankees, and the Red Sox. They're talking about I don't know. They're talking about signing players, but they haven't done anything either. So it's one of those things where I feel like the Blue Jays need to go ahead and do something, and they haven't done it for me. So I just feel like, okay, if they're gonna win and then make a push, they need to go ahead and sign someone. Because remember, they even lost Hyunjin Ryu. He left. He's not there anymore. Alek Manoah is not there anymore. So like, who's left? Who's their top starting pitcher?
So that's where they're at. That pitching is really suspect. You got Gosman, Chris Bassett, and Jose Barrios. They're your top three pitchers, right? They'll get it done. But then that fourth, that fifth starter, that's where you start questioning if these guys could even stay up healthy the whole year. And then you ask the question, who are you going to really bring up from the minor leagues? And they have some prospects out there, but, it's a hit and miss when you throw all these prospects out there. And you never know what you're going to get. And, injuries do pile up in the middle of the season. And this is where you have all these question marks. And like you said, that tough division, AL East, it's one of the toughest ones out there. And not only you have the Yankees, Juan Soto there, and then Kervin Burns and that young, talented Oriole team. And, man, we got a lot of things to see how this is going to play out the AL East. But I'm excited for it.
Where do you feel they're gonna end up at the end of the season? Do you feel like they're gonna compete? They're gonna be in third place? They're gonna just miss the playoffs, make the playoffs, or they're gonna be at the bottom of the standings in the AL East?
I do see the Blue Jays competing. At the end of the day, they still have a pretty nice little starting. Their batting lineup's really nice. You got Varsho there, Kevin Kiermaier, George Springer, guys that still could hit. So that's not a question. I just think they're going to be in third place. I don't think they could compete with the Yankees or the Orioles this season. I know the Rays are going to probably take a step back this year, and the Red Sox have just not done enough for me. So I do see them still landing the third place and probably finishing like the last place on the wild card.
Yeah, and I do see them staying in third place as well. I don't see them possibly making the playoffs. It's going to be kind of hard to predict that they make the wild card. I don't think they're going to win the division. That's one of the things I feel like they're not going to do. Look, so for the Blue Jays, I honestly, like said, I feel like they need pitching, and pitching is key in every team. That's why there's never enough, pitchers on your team. When you have or you hear people say, "Oh, but they already have a pitcher. Why do they need another one?" Remember, pitching can take you everywhere. It can take you to the World Series. Can win you a game that you really need. So I honestly think that they need a pitcher, and Snell is out there, Montgomery's out there, and we talked about how Chapman signed his deal and with the Giants, and this is the way that's going to happen. So there's more teams that are going to be going after. I think there's 4 teams going after Snell now, and 4 teams
Right.
going after Montgomery, and
Oh,
they haven't disclosed who's the teams, but I kind of have an idea. And if the Blue Jays are one of them, let's just hope for Blue Jays' sake, they are the front runners to get one of these 2 pitchers, and that'll change my mind. I think because
yeah.
if you get an ace on that staff, it'll help out big time, and it'll compete with the Orioles and the Yankees. Like you said, they have a nice, uh, um, batting lineup, and I think they can do good. But it's just that. Let's see what Will has to say, man. He's on here.
Hey, what's
Orange
up? Well,
Montan.
thanks for listening. He said
Yeah.
Orioles aren't done. I think Montgomery or Snell will sign with Baltimore. Wow, that would be a huge move for the Baltimore Orioles, especially knowing that Cal Bradish is kind of hurt, and you have other John Means is also in the IL. So it would be a smart move to add with Corbin Burns. That would be a cheat code, man. That's not fair.
I think so. I think, to be honest, I think Snell is going to be looked at by other teams that are going to be kind of. A lot of people are going to be hating on this team for going after him, and I
For
just feel
sure.
like the Yankees are, for me, are still front runners. I
I think
think the
so.
Yankees need to go ahead and pull that trigger if they want to be on top of the AL East. Because, Will, you just said if the Orioles go ahead and get Montgomery, then Snell can probably go to the Yankees, and then now you're looking at 2 teams that are taking over the AL East, and it's going to be a pretty interesting division. So,
Right.
um,
And I know Blake Snell's been linked to the Angels and the Giants recently. It would be nice. What do you think Blake Snell would want to play for Bob Melvin again after last season?
dude, I don't. I think they got a good relationship. I don't think they have
I
a
think so
different
too,
right.
right?
I think that's why Chapman was one of those things where he felt like, you know what, I'm going back to Bat Melvin. I'm gonna go play with him. He
Back to the
played with him,
Bay.
and yeah, back to the Bay. He played with him in the A's. It was one of those things where he did good out there, and Bob Melvin was his coach. Now they're
Yeah.
gonna reunite out in San Francisco and do it again.
Dude, if the Giants signed Blake Snell, that would be such a great move for them. That would be the almost the best offseason a team could have like that for not getting Otani.
Exactly. And I agree with you because I think the ultimate price was Otani, but getting Otani and or missing on Otani, and then you're still doing little pieces, because remember, these guys that the Giants are getting, they're past. They're not those players that are like hitting home runs every day or hitting for average. No, they're just pesky. They're like, they know how to grind, they know how to get at bats, they know how to like get pitches and get the pitcher out of there and get the bullpen into the game. So that's what's scary about the Giants, if you didn't understand why I feel like the Giants did good. And a lot of people feel like, oh, he has a 240 average. Yeah. But if those hitters take 5, 6 pitches and a bat, that's just going to make their star to get out of the game and get the bullpen in. And then guess what? This is where they're going to attack and make their runs. And almost all their hitters are like that. They're those pesky hitters that you're like, they
Yeah.
don't do that good, but with my team, they're always doing good. And it's like,
I would
that's what it is.
if anybody doesn't know that stat out there, the last 30 home run season in a Giants uniform has been since Barry Bonds. And that's how the Oracle Park is, and it's really tough to hit home runs there. So I'm excited to see Jorge Soler in the Giants uniform because that guy does have power, and I'm ready to see him crush some balls out of McCovey Cove.
Yeah. Will says Snell to the Yankees will guarantee their failure. You know what, dude? I feel like you hate on Snell too much. And I don't know. I think it'll change his approach, because when
Nah,
you go
man.
to the Yankees, you gotta step it up.
Hey, the pressure's
And
on.
the pressure is on, and I think he does good under pressure. It's
Dude,
just
you think
he's in a
Snell likes you think Snell likes the Dodgers though? I think he
ah,
has this hate towards the Dodgers, like he was this
ah,
close on game 6, like when he was pitching for the Rays and Kevin Cash took him out a little too early. I'm gonna go a little bit
yep.
flashback on you guys, but you know what happened once the bullpen came in? Dodgers went ahead and won the World Series. And I know he has that like in his mindset, he still wants to beat the Dodgers. So that's why he would be perfect in a Giants uniform.
Yeah, he would. He would. And don't count the Dodgers out, Ryan Reyes is saying. Doug from Dodgers Nation says we should get him because the deal he would take. And like I said, Scott Boras is looking for those 3-year deals and those opt out years. So we don't know how the economy is going to be next year. We don't know how, all this stuff that's going on right now with the money and free agency and everything. So if he probably gets like 120 for 3 years, he's still going to get paid good. And if he does good, then he can go ahead and opt out. He can buy out or whatever the contract is. But that's what it looks like. He's looking for a 40 or 50 year a year, right? That's what Blake
Yeah,
Snell is looking. Yeah, so that's just going to be
that's a lot of money.
that
I
is a
mean,
lot of money.
so I guess we could move on to the next topic. Zack
Yeah,
Wheeler today got
yeah.
his contract extended for 3 years, 126 million. He will be earning 42 million a year. What are your thoughts on that? That's a lot of money. He'll be one of the
That's a
highest
lot of
paid
money.
pitchers. He's
You
at the
know,
age of 34. Like, I'm sorry, man, that's a lot of money.
I think the Phillies want to keep their same team. They want to keep that core going. They want to look like they're I guess the camaraderie is all there, and they want to keep that same thing going. So they made it to the World Series in 2022. They were close
Mhm.
in 2023, and now this is the year that they want to go ahead and prove to everybody that they're not just there by luck. They're there because they have a great chemistry. They're pulling together. They have Bryce Harper on that team leading them the way. You have Trey Turner. You have all this cast with them, and I feel like they can do it, but I don't know, dude. I feel like that was a lot of money. Don't you think?
It really is. It's
Yeah,
you're paying a guy that he's obviously a great pitcher. Don't get me wrong. The guy's easily the top 10 best pitcher in the MLB, but his stats don't look that great in paper for his regular season. He still pitches within like 3 point something ERA, a great pitcher that still gets over 10 wins, but has never won a Cy Young.
yeah,
A guy that has never like been close in the mix. He's been close second place only one season. And the thing is, I think the reason why the Phillies paid is because, like you said, they want to keep the core together.
yep,
But the same fact is that the Zack Wheeler and Aaron Nola do such a great job against the Braves. And I feel the Phillies know that these two guys could compete against the Braves and could shut them down. And if you look at Zack Wheeler's numbers in the playoffs, guys, that guy's almost unhittable and has like his best outings during the playoffs. So I think he's getting paid for his performance in the playoffs.
So what? You think that the Phillies are gonna probably even win the division or not win the division? I don't know what you think. Because when you get a contract like that, you get more motivated, or it could go the other way. It could go south, and you
Right.
just feel
Real quick.
comfortable enough. Yeah, real fast. We saw it with Trey Turner. So
Yep.
he adjusted at the end of the season, which was good because remember he played the WBC and he was hot going into the season, and then he just went cold, and then at the end he turned it back on after the fans applaud him and say, "Hey, we got your back. We're not gonna boo you like other fans do." And they did a good gesture for Trey Turner, but now Zack Wheeler, he was with the Mets. If you guys don't remember, with those top pitchers out there, it was what's his name, Batman? What's his the dude?
Oh,
Harvey,
Dark Knight. Matt
Dark
Harvey,
Knight. Yeah, Matt Harvey.
Syndergaard, DeGrom. He was like the fifth guy at that time.
Yeah, he was number 4, number 5, dude. He wasn't even the top, one of the top pitchers. Now he's going 2 or 3. So it's like, huh? You got a big contract with the Phillies. I guess it's working for you. And that's what. Do you have him winning the division?
You know what? No. And I think the Phillies know that they don't want to win the division. The way the playoff format is today, I think they like being the 5th, 6th seed. I think
Yeah,
that's the way they prefer to be. That way they can compete with the Braves, have a long layoff for the Braves, and that's where they'll take them down. Where
yeah,
Wheeler and Nola will take advantage of that speed, being off for so many days off.
yeah.
The players lose the timing, and that's where they come in hot.
What's up, everybody? Javi, Will, Ryan, Heriberto, everybody that's on here. Make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done so, I didn't want to cut Ernie off, but I felt like I needed to go ahead and say that
Yeah, go ahead.
because I didn't say that at the beginning of the show.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, wherever
Yeah,
you may be listening, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a lot of great content for you guys coming forward. Will and Javi have the fantasy show on usually Thursday nights, and we have a lot of great news for you guys coming for the whole 2024 MLB season.
that's true. And if you do have any fantasy questions, go ahead and submit them. We have all social media platforms, and you can contact us, and any of those platforms will get you answered right away. Will has helped 2 or 3 guys win their championships in their fantasy baseball. So hit that like and go ahead and hit that question in, and we'll reply right away. But honestly, like I feel like the as we move forward with baseball and we start talking more about baseball in the season, I think we're going to have way more content than we have right now. It does free agency still feels a little slow because there's still top players out there. We wish we didn't have to do that. We could just talk about spring training and talk about who's going to win their divisions and stuff like that. Right now, it's like if a pitcher goes to, like, let's say, like we talked about the Giants, Snell goes to the Giants. Now we're talking about them competing for that first or even second place in the West, like because
Mhm.
Arizona still has their team out there, right? So it's kind of crazy to where some of these players haven't signed yet, and it's already spring training. Has that ever
Yes.
happened? I don't think it's happened, right? In recent time?
No, the
That
previous time is just during the lockdowns, right? That's the only time I could think of players not signing on time. The lockouts going happening in MLB, but this is really tough. I feel like Montgomery and Snell will be affected by this tremendously. You have the month left in baseball to start, and these guys will be off. And if they do get signed within any of these days, I think their timing to be ready for opening day is the question mark now going forward, and that may
yeah,
affect us in fantasy. I don't know where Blake Snell, Montgomery will land, but would I want to draft this guy knowing if he's not going to have a team yet?
that's true. That's true because now you have to wait and see if he's going to have to delay his spring training and, go into the season probably a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. We don't know that. We don't know how long it's going to go. And if he starts feeling sore and stuff like that, that's just going to
Yeah,
delay his comeback unless these guys are already working out. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy, dude. It's kind of crazy to think about it that way. But when you're playing fantasy and you're doing other stuff like that, and you're talking about players, even if it's professional baseball, you're looking at your teams. You're like, wait, but these guys aren't here yet. We have 24 days left before opening day, and it seems like those 24 days are not enough. Tomorrow's going to be 23, and then you get to 15, then you get to 10, and you're like, wait, these guys are still not signed. You have the Cy Young Award winner not
yeah.
signing yet, and so that's kind of tough. That's really tough. That's really tough. And what if he goes to the Dodgers? Would you hate on that? Hell yeah, right?
Oh, I think the MLB world would be upset. I think the Dodgers are basically done. I don't see them signing them at all.
Well, what if they're one of the top four that they're probably going to try to get and see? Look, and this is just a scenario. Like I know, I don't want to bring the Dodgers up all the time, but this is one of the scenarios that I got to see on MLB Network. They were talking about the Dodgers, even a possibility of getting Snell, and there's that possibility. Even Montgomery, so there's that
Right.
possibility of them signing it, especially if it's a 3-year deal or 1-year deal opt out. And they give him 50. If he doesn't sign, who's going to give him that 50? For 1 year. So there's that possibility that he can sign with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are going to be even more hated because of that. But just like there's a possibility for the Dodgers, there's possibilities for other teams to go
Right.
ahead and say, you know what, they're going to give him 50 for 1 year. I'll give him 55. I'm trying to compete. So that's just opening that possibility. So that kind of raises that question. And you ask me, who's winning? Is it MLB? Scott Boras?
MLB's winning, man.
Yeah,
Easy. Hands down. Scott Boras is folding.
he's folding. He's folding his hands. He's like, this is the best I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I think this is the end of Scott Boras era. Yeah, man.
All right.
Because 10 years ago, players were getting way better deals than now.
Yeah.
You have the
Yeah.
A-Rod deal, the Manny Ramirez deals. Man, players were getting paid big time bucks. I was comparing contracts from 10 years ago, and players were almost making the same amount of money as they are today.
Are you?
Yeah, man. I was looking at Manny Ramirez signed with the Dodgers on a 2-year, $45 million. This was
Yeah.
back in 08, 09.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
15 years ago. A-Rod, what did he get? Over 400 million at the time?
I
300?
I
Over
think
350.
350. Yeah.
10 years.
10 years ago, and it hasn't changed. So when Otani signed, everybody was like, yeah, that's going to change baseball's way of signing players, but it hasn't. It's kind of like you're saying 2008, the Manny Ramirez deal, that 45 mil a year. We're starting to see that again.
Mhm.
And I think the 3-year deals, 4-year deals benefits the teams. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where if they do sign them, they're going to give them 1 year opt out. I feel
Yeah.
and or 2 years and opt out the first year so he can get a bigger deal because I mean, who are we kidding? The economy's if you're looking at the economy is not good. You're just getting paid more and more and more, and that's how it's going to go. Like as we get older, we're just gonna be like, man, that's just too much money. But in reality, you're just going ahead and doing what the economy is serving you and giving you, and that's how it is. So Ryan Reyes is saying Muncy's gonna send that ball out of San Francisco like he did with Bumgarner, and he's gonna go get it out of the ocean. I have that shirt, by the way.
The Macaulay Cove. You do? Should
Yeah, I
wear
do
it.
have that. I have that shirt. it doesn't fit me anymore. I gotta hit that treadmill
Oh my god!
so it can fit. Like I need to go ahead and hit that gym. But
What
I
size
am
was it?
kind
A
of
medium?
that one's a schlarge.
Large.
It's a slushy one, man. That doesn't fit anymore. I gave it to my son. He's wearing it, and it fits him good. So
Dad
it's a
bod.
exactly. Well, you know what I'm talking about. That dad bod, man. Exactly. It's just that all that food is really good, so I gotta love it. But I am running a little bit. You know, I'm not just staying as a couch potato. I am going to the gym, so
Trying to get,
I'll
trying
get
to get,
back in. I'll get back to it.
trying to go back to the large. All right, I see.
Yeah, trying to get back to the large and maybe back to the medium. Yeah, dude. All right, so we have the injury report, and this one is one of the topics that we've been trying to implement or include on our show because a lot of people forget about the injuries, and I feel like a lot of people don't see injuries, and especially with fantasy drafts, they forget that this person is injured and they're not going to be available for the next 2 months, and they draft them super high, and like they think, hey, where's this guy? Like Walker Bueller, when I talked about him, a lot of people felt like he's ready to go. No, he's not. He's not ready to go. Like this guy has a little minor setback. He's might even go all the way to the end of May, like it looks like now. So like keeping up with that stuff will help you. So I kind of did a little digging. So
All right, let's
um
bring them out. Bring them out.
yeah, bring them
It's
out.
crazy
So
because the Dodgers are really staying really quiet about Walker Bueller. You would think he's almost ready. That's why I think the fans think he's back.
yeah,
But the
and
Dodgers are just not really giving any news or any information about him.
they're not, and this is the thing that a lot of people felt like, oh, he's ready to go, and he's not. He's going to be ready probably beginning May, end of May. So there's still not a timetable for him, and that's one of the main reasons why if you're going to draft, you need to watch out for this guy and draft him a little bit later. Another one, Ronald Acuna was dealing with
Ooh,
meniscus irritation, dude. You remember he went down back in the World Series, so it was one of those things where it's like, he went down. They're not going to win the World Series, but they won the World Series in 2021, right? They won it with
yeah.
Soler, and that's when we were talking about Jorge
He tore that
Soler.
ACL, so it's kind of
Yeah,
concerning, right? A
yeah,
meniscus
yeah,
injury is still pretty rough.
yeah, yeah. It's a huge thing, dude. And I just feel like I mean, he's a great player anyway, but they're just taking they're being cautious with him. So if you want to hear about him, he's not going to play for a little bit. He's going to stretch it out, and then I think he's going to be out for a week or two. They're going
It's
to test it
concerning.
out.
It
Yeah,
really
so
is.
it is concerning. It's
You're
really
playing
concerning.
fantasy.
Yeah,
He's an overall number one pick.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
like, are you gonna go with a guy number one, Acuna, now that he has some concerns of meniscus injury? Is
yeah,
he gonna steal the same amount of bases now with this knee injury? There's a
yeah,
lot of question marks, and this is
yeah.
where fantasy plays a huge role with injuries.
Yeah, and that's scary, dude. It's scary because if he gets injured again, where do the Braves go from there? What
Mm,
do they do? Are they going to go and get another outfielder? And this is where, excuse me, this is where Scott Boris is going to be like, I have a player here. You can take him. You just
let
have to
me
pay
call
for
him.
him.
Let me call him.
Exactly. All right. So Josh Donaldson is another guy. He retired. He's 38. Don't
What?
draft this guy. He's already gone. Remember, he won the MVP in 2015. He's 38 and he just called it quits. He's not going to play anymore. And I kind of felt like he probably had one more year in them. Like I think he probably would have done good. It's just he's probably scared of getting injured again. I know last year he was injured half of the season or a little bit
Mhm.
more in the half of the season. So I think for him, I guess it's time to hang it up. He just feels like I need to call it quits and just be out of
Yeah,
baseball for a while. So I mean, it is what a
it's
lot
kind of
of people
sad,
expect.
man.
Yeah,
It's
it
sad to
is.
see all your like players that you saw growing up play really well. Like Josh Donaldson had a really memorable 2015 season with the Blue Jays. He won
Yeah,
AL MVP. He stole that MVP from Trout. I still remember to this day. Trout finished second that year, and Josh Donaldson just had that one like fluky year that was just almost on. He could, every fastball he pitched it through to this guy who was just hitting bombs. And sorry to say that he's going to retire because he was actually a really great player. And it
hmm
wasn't until he went to the Yankees that you saw his downfall. And
yeah, yeah. And like I said, the Yankees are one of those teams that if you go there, you either succeed or you hit rock bottom. And most of the players can't deal with that media out there. And Well, I'm just gonna say that if Blake Snell goes there, I think he's gonna do good. So I'll just say that. I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to my son because his birthday is tomorrow. He's gonna turn
Hey,
13, so I might be a dad of a teenager, and that's gonna suck. Uh, but I just want to wish him a happy birthday because I mean he's my firstborn, and I love him to death, and I know he's gonna experience a different level of baseball now, which that's where I came from right now, and he's gonna do good, and I can't wait to see him play baseball. But yeah, happy birthday, Gavin!
yeah,
Can't
happy birthday,
I can't believe
Gavin.
you're this old already. It's time to get you a job. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. The next one, I did see. I think Giants plays Tristan Beck on the 60-day DL. That's another one. The other one that I was looking at, and help me if you guys know any injuries out there like that I didn't mention. Let me know. But I am going through all these ones that um, I just want to make sure that you don't. Alec Manoa, he had a setback. He has like the his shoulder was a little irritated, but I don't know, dude. Like, you think he's gonna come back?
There's a lot of question marks with him. I do think he will come back. They're going to give him one more shot, but if he doesn't perform, I think he's going to easily get cut this season. I don't see the Blue Jays, hanging in there with him again and trying to send him back to the minors, trying to find himself. It's either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel kind of bad because I remember last year we were talking about him. We were saying like, oh man, they sent him down, and he didn't even show up to try to work on himself and everything. And then they just for a lot of people forgot about him. Even in fantasy, they were like, should I trade him? Should I keep him? What should I do with this guy? I just feel like if this guy doesn't come back from this, yeah, you're right. I think that's the last we'll see from Alec Manoa, and I think it was a weight issue where they were talking about. There's like he came back heavier this year in spring training. He came out a little slimmer, right? He was
Right.
ready to go. He's gonna do it. So I just feel like if Alec Manoa doesn't come back, it's gonna suck, man. I kind of see this guy, and a lot of people from the Blue Jays were saying like, well, maybe it's because he has bad luck and he talks a lot of trash, and a lot of players from this team were saying that he does talk a lot of trash, and they don't. It's not wanted, like they don't like that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of teams that are like that. You have the Cardinals, you have the Yankees that are not like that. The Blue Jays might allow it. There's other teams that allow it, but like when you play with a player like that, you kind of feel like, I need to back this guy up. I don't want to get in a fight. But the Blue Jays had these guys. Remember Bautista got in the fight with
Ron
Odor.
Odor, yes,
Yeah,
got punched out of the ballpark.
yeah. So that's Alec Manoa. Let's go to the next one. I do see. One of the mentions, Robinson Cano is playing in the Mexican League.
Yeah, Diablo Rojos.
The Diablos Rojos de Mexico. So it's like crazy, dude. He's
How old is he? 41?
41 years old. Yeah. And he's still playing baseball. So, yeah, man, that means I can still play baseball.
He still got it.
I still got it. We still do that. Um, let's see. We got CJ Cron. He signed a minor league deal with the Red Sox. You have Brandon Crawford, which you already talked about him last week. He's joining the Cardinals. One thing I learned about that one is that he wanted to stay with the Giants, but there was one person on that organization that didn't want him to be there, dude. And that's why
Who's
he
that?
had to. He doesn't say that he doesn't want.
Oh,
It'll come out later. It'll say
yeah.
there. So
Sure.
um, Stroman talked a lot of exactly. Stroman did talk a lot of crap out
That was
before
a
he went
funny
to the
one.
to the Yankees. I remember Cashman and him had these little things or little battles on Twitter or it was Twitter back then. Now it's X. I don't know. I guess they found a common thing or theme. They were like, oh, let's go ahead and unite and try to win a division and try to win a World Series.
Oh, there's
Uh,
definitely going to be some drama in the middle of the season with those two.
you think so?
Oh, for
You think
sure.
so? Oh man, will you draft them though? Will you draft them for your team?
Yeah, late round pick. Why not? Because the
I'm,
steal. Why not?
I'm just trying to see where your head's at, so I can kind of be like, you're trying to get this guy. All right, let's go ahead and talk more. Let's see who else is on here. I don't see anybody else on the injury report that we should be looking at. You
We got
had
nobody.
Muncie that got hit in his hand, but he already came back.
Okay.
And that was the only one. Who else? Who else? Who else?
Yeah, man. This spring training is kind of interesting. You see a lot of players get soreness, irritation in their arms. any hit by pitches is really dangerous. I know the pitchers and batters want to get live pitching and batting, but it could be a bit concerning sometimes. And you ask yourself, why is my manager putting him out there every day like that?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that's
well,
true. That's true.
I
And
guess
then
Will's asking Max Scherzer. Yes, Max Scherzer is still dealing with some injuries and won't be back till July.
yeah. Oh, to July, he had a setback.
No, I'm not sure it was a setback, but from last remember, yeah, he's not coming back to July mid-season,
Wow.
so it will
So
be a while.
damn, it'll be a while before he comes back. Damn, July is a long time from now.
It really
Um,
is.
so the Rangers, I feel like they need to go ahead and do something too, man. The
Oh, they do
Astros,
nothing,
no, the Astros did something. They went
right?
ahead and they got Hader, their closer. I don't think they need to do anything else.
No, not at
I think
all.
they did good. So let's see what else we have here. And then they hit him on the shoulder the other day. Yeah, they did. Muncie, but he's okay right now. And Will, we have him here, so that's good, man. That's good that you're here, Will, so you can say that draft Scherzer late. It might be a sleeper. You're right. Scherzer's still a good pitcher. It's just he's dealing with that arm since he was a daughter, and so like I think a late round draft, I think it would be good for
Man,
to pick up.
looking back, like Scherzer in a Dodger uniform. I just don't see it. There's a couple guys like that I'm like, what? They play with the Dodgers? Like,
Yeah.
I can't see it anymore.
So Sonny Gray headed. He is getting an MRI because he has some pain, and it's not looking too good. They're saying that he might not be ready for opening day, so that's why he's getting an MRI. So he had a early exit today. He pitched, and it's not looking well. So Sonny Gray is one of the other pitchers that if you're looking to draft them, or he's probably one of those pitchers that you don't even draft, but because his name is there, a lot of people will try to draft them.
You
So
need a pitcher sometimes, right? So you
yeah,
just go ahead and take him. Sonny Gray's with the Cardinals now, right? Just to remind everybody, he did sign
yeah.
this free agency with the Cardinals, correct?
Wait, is it with the Cardinals?
Wait, I'm getting it all confused. Where is Sonny Gray?
No, Sonny Gray is not with the Cardinals anymore. Sonny
No,
Gray
no,
signed,
he
huh?
he was with the Twins last year.
He was with the Twins last year, but this year he signed with another. I don't think he's with the Twins anymore. I think he signed with the. Yeah, you're right, with the Cardinals. I didn't
Yeah,
see that one. Wow, that's a good one, dude. The Cardinals. So the Cardinals have they have Sonny Gray. They have the guy that was with the Dodgers last year that hit a home run. So they have a pretty old pitching staff. Damn,
yes, they
I didn't see that one.
what's
Yeah,
his name? Lance Lynn, Sonny Gray. They got Brandon
Lance Lynn,
Crawford.
dude.
That team is just old now. I
Damn.
mean, they do have some young guys like Lars Newbar, players like that, but they are looking a bit
Nah,
older.
dude. I'm amazed at the pitching staff. Like Lance Lynn is on that pitching staff. Like, what the hell? Unless Lance Lynn comes back and pitches the way that he did back in the when they won the World Series and all good, but he's older now. He's older now, so it's like, oh, dude, old like me. What the hell? Like, he's younger than me, dude. I think he's younger than me. But yeah, dude, I think the Cardinals. I don't think they win the division, dude. I don't think they have a shot at
No,
that. I think the Cubs are still winning the division there. Well, they
Cubs or the
should be.
Reds?
Not the
Yeah,
Cubs
the
or the
Reds.
Reds. Yeah, Reds are still good, dude. But I just still feel like they need to get a pitcher. And a lot of people are talking about their pitching staff that they're really good and they're gonna do really good. And I don't know. The hitting is just not enough. I feel like I said at the beginning of the show. I think pitching will take you different places, will make you win games, and I just feel like that's what needs to happen.
That's my
Nets.
Angels.
That's the Angels.
The Angels who needed pitching for the past 10 years. I don't know, man. I don't
I
know what
keep
they're doing.
getting
We
the
need
Josh
Blake Snell.
Donaldson retirement. Yeah, I keep getting the Josh retirement. My bad. So you said Snell might go to the Angels. He could. Yeah, he
Everybody's
could go.
pushing for Snell to sign with the Angels, but can Artie spend some money this year, please? Just sign the paycheck.
You're like, hey man, come on, sign over here, dude. Like we need you.
Yeah, man, it would be
Uh,
perfect on a short-term deal. Like, what else do you want from a Cy Young? Not have to pay a max contract at all.
yeah, yeah. Um, dude, that's it. There's not a lot
That's
of injuries. as of yet. Like I'm looking at the updates, and there's little scares here and there, but I don't think they're worth mentioning because it's probably like a 1 day, 2 day sit outs. It is spring training. We're expecting that, but if I see it like a Tommy John or something like that, then but I'm not seeing it. The only thing I do see is that Alex Wood from the A's, he is experiencing a little bit of tiredness, but he's still going to make his start. He's still going to pitch, so he's not. It's not one of those things where you kind of feel like that needs to happen. Do you guys remember Julio Teheran? He
Yes.
signed with the Orioles a minor league deal as well. He might, I don't know if he's going to make the team, but he's going to be playing for the minor leagues and kind of fix his pitching and see if he makes it. Michael Lorenzen, he's trying to find a home too, so he's out
Ooh.
there. So yeah, that's a pitcher that's pretty known.
Hey, did
Remember
Julio
he
Teheran throw a no hitter?
with the Braves, I believe, right? I think he did.
I think he was
Does he?
close. I don't know if he
Oh, he
did
was
or
close.
I think he was close. But yeah,
Okay.
man, these
Yeah.
are guys that like damn how they fall off so much, right? And that's baseball for you guys. Sometimes these players go great for 2-3 years and you don't see them anymore in the game, so it's kind of sad.
That's true. That's true. All right. So I got a question for you.
All right,
Do
let's
you
go.
feel I got a question for you, and because we have time and we're talking about different players, and Will just said Bauer, but I don't think Bauer's going to sign. And I do remember I was going to ask you this question about Bauer. Um, do you feel MLB already blacklisted? I mean, I already asked you this question, but because it's moving along and we're getting closer to the season, and you see these little injuries to teams, and you're not signing the Cy Young, do you feel like
Mhm.
any team is going to sign him?
No, at this point, I think he's basically done from the MLB. Looks like he no longer will be pitching, and it's kind of unfortunate because there's a lot of injuries and a lot of need for pitching, but I just don't see it happening. Especially when you mentioning guys like Montgomery and Snell, Lorenzen's still out there, and they still have no teams, so I don't see it happening. How about you, man?
I don't see it happening. We got questioned. Remember, we got questioned about that, and one of the subscribers, or if it was just a fan listening, they said that I don't think he's gonna sign with anybody, and I feel the same way. I think he already blacklisted from the MLB. He's not gonna be here, and Ryan Reyes is saying he has Montgomery, so he needs to sign with someone. We have Felix, dude. We haven't seen you in a long time, man. Welcome to the show. Um, Saludos hasta Puerto Rico, dude. Like
Damn,
that's a
dude.
really cool. That's really cool. Or Indianapolis, if you're in Indianapolis. But I know you travel a lot, so thank you for joining us right now, and that's pretty cool. And we are ready for the fantasy. We've been waiting for too long already, no?
Yeah, I feel like Will sends us messages every week, and I'm like, when is the draft already? I'm ready to go. I've been ready to go since like 2 months ago. And I'm like, man, these guys talk like they know their baseball. I'm kind of scared, like, man, it's going to be really competitive. Hey, man, but I have a fantasy football championship behind me, so I'm not scared.
So Will thinks Snell's going to sign, and then Bauer's going to find a home. He might find a home in another league. I don't think he's going to sign with MLB. I think I made up my mind. I don't think he's signing. Ernie, he's
No,
not
he's
signing,
not.
right?
No,
Yeah, there you
until
go.
maybe after 2029, after Rob Manfred leaves.
Yeah, maybe. We still got 5 more years with this
Yeah.
guy. So, all right. So, Ernie, this one's a question for you, man. Is that beer or kombucha?
Oh, I was actually drinking kombucha.
Oh, damn. I need to drink some of that. Dude, we have some at work and we haven't tried that shot.
It's not as good as the one I have here.
That one's good.
Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah. Forever. Yes. And I'm imagining when you're saying forever, I kind of bring Sandlot and like forever, you know?
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. So let's go. Oh, let's see. I will be in Puerto Rico Sunday to do the draft. Oh, so you're doing drafts out there, doing drafts with us and everything. Okay. So have fun out there. Don't forget about us. Have
Yeah,
fun, man. Yeah. Enjoy the sun out there. Why
it's gonna
not?
be exciting. We actually have a Real Talk Baseball draft. It's kind of exciting between me, Carlos, Will, Javi, and other listeners that have been part of the show for a while, right? And it's
Yeah.
pretty competitive league. I'm kind of excited. It's gonna be my first time playing the Keepers League, so we're excited to see how it all plays out. I know I'm wasting all my money already just with all my keepers, and I don't know how I'm gonna be able to afford any other guys out there.
That's funny. And yeah, we have a fantasy as well. It's already filled up. If you missed
Wow.
out, sorry, but maybe next year, you'll have a chance to win a Real Talk Baseball jersey. We'll make it a championship jersey. You'll be the first one to get that jersey. And there's other prizes that we're going to add to it as we get closer to the end of the season. We'll go ahead and talk about that because we want to make it to where if we give you that jersey, we want to make it to your size, and we want you to represent the show. And of course, where did you win it? You won in Real Talk Baseball. Like, we are the champs for a podcast, so I just want to throw that out there. I feel like really good and strong about our team here. We know our baseball. We know how to draft. We know how to play fantasy baseball. We know how to talk anything in baseball. So, like, we are champs in fantasy baseball. So if you feel like you want to invite us to something like that, like, we're all open for it as well. So yeah, let's see. I want to New Jersey if I win. So you want him to give it to you? Like, we can do that too. I know
We'll
you
send
guys
Bobby
have
to
like a
Puerto
little
Rico.
you guys have that little rivalry going. So friendly rivalry, which is good. Friendly rivalry, friendly rivalry.
For
Um,
sure.
all right, dude. We haven't even reached the hour, but I feel like we went over all our topics and we talked about all our topics. If you have any last mentions, go ahead.
No, I just want to thank everybody for listening and tuning in. We have a great show for you guys today. We're hoping to get jump on every Monday night for all your latest MLB news. Trust me, once these signings happen, it feels like it's been one player per week kind of thing these days. But once they're all signed, we can have a lot of baseball to talk to with analyze different highlights, different plays, and just your fantasy questions as well. I know me and Carlos kind of focus more on the MLB news, but if you have any fantasy questions, we're here to answer those as well.
Yeah. And don't forget, we do have another show. I think Ryan Reyes asked us last time, why can we don't get on the show with Javi and Will? Like, we do have those shows that we all get on and we talk baseball and we even talk fantasy. We talk all that stuff. We are going to have one of those shows again where we were trying to make it to where we talk or get on all together once a month, but with life happening with different time zones, because remember, they are in the East Coast. So it's a little difficult sometimes. And I know Will's going to come out next week or in 2 weeks, and I kind of want, since you're in here, I kind of want to have a live show and have you come on, and maybe we can meet somewhere and we can do it from there and talk baseball and talk fantasy, talk everything baseball. But I think that'll be really fun. And yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and say that because it is the same show. It's not different. It doesn't. The only difference is that that's the fantasy side. If there's news, he's going to say it. He's going to bring it out because who's not going to talk about the news? Like the baseball news is all the time. Fantasy has a lot to deal with that, and they're really good. They're really good. He's won a lot of championships for people, and he's really on it. So, oh, he just confirmed right here. Wait. We won't talk again before the draft. Yeah, I don't think we will. But if you want to message us, go ahead and message us and talk to us. Like that's how it's been happening. So, let's see. Is there? I'll be there
Okay.
Tuesday next Tuesday. This next Tuesday. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we should get together and see if we can do a live show for
Well, we'll
sure.
be in Cali. All right.
Yeah,
Welcome
he'll be
back
in
to
Cali.
home.
It'll be have fun. And Felix is saying hi to Will. Like, yes, how's it going? I don't know. We have a text thread going as well. Like, we have a bunch of people talking baseball, which is fun. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it here or any in our social media platforms. We'll get them answered. We love talking baseball all the time. And don't forget, I will go ahead and put this on here. If you guys are interested in Rival Fantasy, go ahead and download the app or go to the website and go ahead and get in. Like, you can play us. You can even, we're going to try to put Rival Fantasy on here, a live stream for you guys, so we can draft probably a daily or a weekly. If you guys want to be part of that, we'll let you know. We'll put the link right here in the comment section so you guys can go easier from there. And it's a lot of fun, dude. Like, you guys win a lot of, like, Ernie has won a lot of money on there right now. So
Hey, the beauty of it is that you get to draft on a daily basis, weekly basis, and this I'm doing this with the NBA, which I don't really watch regularly, but I do know the main players, right? And it's kind of easy because I just get to draft real quick and I just let it play out. I don't have to set my lineup or anything. The app automatically sets up your lineup. You just have to make sure you fill up every roster spot, have a couple of utility guys that play, and it does it all for yourself. So if you play even a full season draft with the Rival Fantasy, you don't have to check your lineup at all. It will just do all the work for you, which is pretty awesome. They have different options. You could play fast, or it could does the draft really quick within 45 seconds per pick. Or they also have the slow draft where it takes every 8 hours per pick. So in case you're not available on your phone, you can make a pick when it's your turn.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a lot of fun. Like if like you could be winning money like on the daily and the weekly, or you can wait all the way to the end of the season. So we are sponsored by them, which is really fun. So I will really hope that you guys use that Real Talk Baseball code and help us out and help Rivalry Fantasy, because we are partnering up with both of them. So um, thank you guys. Like I appreciate it. There's been a lot of conversation going on, and this is what we like. We have this show because we want to feel like that special bond talking to our subscribers, and there's not a lot of shows like that. That's why I kind of feel
No,
like, okay, this is where it's interesting. So what's going on here? $117 last night. There you go, Joaquin. There, dude,
that
you made
money.
money right there, making that money, dude. That's really dope. Most improved player. uh,
I think Felix is talking about Jordan Walker being the most
yeah,
improved player.
yeah,
So
Jordan Walker.
there's going to be a lot of guys like that you could find sleepers on fantasy. So we're getting excited for that. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Genesis, thank you for listening. Ryan, Felix, Joaquin, all from Real Talk Baseball. We really enjoyed talking to you guys. And
Yeah.
hey man, there's baseball, 162 games left to go, and got 2 more weeks before the season starts.
Yep. What is it? 24 days, dude. 24 days. All
I
right,
mean,
guys. From
are
all
you
of us.
calling out?
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Wait.
call out of work. I think it's a Thursday. Gotta do it.
Gotta do it. I gotta wake up. No, it's gonna be an early game, dude. So they're gonna play in South Korea. So it's gonna be that. I mean, I don't know if you're treating it like an opening day, but
No,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
say for the
Yeah,
following week. The following week
the
of it.
following week, right? All right. Yeah,
A
we'll do
real
that.
opening day.
Yeah. All right, man. You got to go check out the Laker game. I do too. We're going to go check that out. But from all of us here, Real Talk Baseball and College Baseball, this is ErnieOrange. Willpower is on the chat. And everybody that was on there, we'd like to thank you guys. But we're moving on. From all of us here, Real Talk Baseball. See you guys.